Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome back. If you're a returning viewer or subscriber, today's video is going to be the end of the year book tag. This is a tag that I film every single year. I feel like I never have brilliant answers to these questions. Probably not a great thing to say when you've just clicked on the video. I kind of have a bit of a routine going, just because it's like become a bit of a tradition to film this within the last couple of months of the year. So I still want to deliver this tag to you, but I've tried my best to like come up with some interesting answers and things like that, because it's a very short tag, not many questions, and also the questions are like, they're not like yes or no answers, but they're like, what book, blank blank, and then like you just name the one book. So I'm going to try and do this tag to the best of my ability, but if you enjoy it along the way, give it a thumbs up, let me know how you feel about it, subscribe if you'd like to stick around, because I feel like this will give you quite a good taste in terms of what I want to get to throughout the rest of the year, and also what my reading plans are for 2025, which is super exciting. I feel like I'm ready for a new year, despite the fact that this one's like literally race by. It's crazy. So I believe this tag was created by Ariel Bissett. I'll have her channel linked down below. If you don't know Ariel already, you are seriously missing out. She's one of my favourite creators on this platform. Without further ado, let's just get on to the video. So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you still need to finish? A couple of weeks ago I posted on Instagram about how I was in the middle of about 10 books, which is slightly horrendous. I've kind of narrowed down, you know, like some of them are ones that are my current reads and I'm going to be getting done within the rest of this week or next week or something. Some of them are like super long-term books that I feel like I'm not going to be getting to anytime soon, but I'm kind of okay with that. Thinking particularly like a Christian non-fiction book that I'm in the middle of, that one I don't mind kind of like dragging out over a few months because it's kind of teaching me. But then I've got a small collection of books that I really want to prioritize, ones that I perhaps put on the back burner, but I really don't want to bring with me into 2025 just because I'm sick of them. I've been reading them for too long. First of all, actually we'll do this one last. I'll go through these first. Okay, first of all, I have House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas. I believe I started this book in 2023, which is horrendous. Just under halfway through, I'm on page 318, and I feel like if I dedicated myself to this, I could definitely get it done. I think it's got like 800 pages, almost exactly. The reason why I'm not picking it up is just because this is not my favourite series by Sarah J Maas. In fact, it's like significantly worse in my opinion than like even her first series. Like I think the writing in this series deteriorated since she was like 16, which is crazy to say. I'm just like not connecting with these characters or this world or the storyline, the plot or anything like that. It's a massive world. Storyline is quite intricate, so you really need to be like keeping up with it as you're going along. It's not the series for me basically. Having said that, I really want to complete it because I enjoyed the first book. This second book is dragging a bit, but it's also definitely my fault because I'm dragging it out. So I've been reading it over months and months. I really don't want to be bringing this into 2025. I think we need to leave it behind and then I can finally read, what's it called? House of Flame and Shadow, which came out earlier this year. I was originally reading this book so that I could read House of Flame and Shadow, and it just never happened, so it's time that we were done with this. Then I also have this collection of essays. This is by Eve Babbitt's I Used to Be Charming. I started reading this, I believe, in May when I went to California, because Eve Babbitt's, you know, Queen of California. But the problem is that these are essays, so I read one of them and I feel like super accomplished, but realistically like it's been like 3 pages and I've still got like a big chunk of them left. There's so many essays in here. I'm having kind of mixed feelings about them, which is only natural, I feel. So some of them are great, some of them kind of, they don't go over my head, but I'm just like, I don't really care. But yeah, I definitely need to knuckle down and get this done. Again, this is one that I really feel like is possible. I'm on page 209 and there are 400 and something pages, so I'm about halfway again. And then I have The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. This is a book I'm seriously loving so much. This is honestly like a 4.5, potentially a 5-star read by the end. It's so incredible. The most amazing writing. Like Patrick Rothfuss will talk about things that you have experienced yourself in real life. He'll just put it into words, like the exact words you would have used to describe it had your brain been able to come up with a sentence to describe it. I was gonna say it's like poetry, but it's not. It's like poetry in the sense that you're like taking something that seems impossible to describe, but he manages to describe it, and I feel like poetry is this effort to describe the indescribable. I just think this is wonderful. But I'm again kind of crawling through it. I put it down because it's just taking me a while to get through, so I'm prioritizing other shorter books, but I dip into this every so often and I'm just having the most wonderful time. I'm around page like 170 and this has got 600 pages, so if I really dedicated myself to this, I could get it complete. I'll keep you updated, of course. And then the final book, this is a book I'm in the middle of, but I don't think I'm actually going to get done before the end of the year, but I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit, and that is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Massive Russian classic, about 1,000 pages, I think just under, and I'm having the time of my life with this, honestly. I know it wouldn't seem like that because I think I started this in like April or May, but I just haven't been picking it up basically. It's so understandable. I don't feel like I'm tackling some massive book. It feels like a modern classic. I feel like that's the vibe. And I'm just loving every single second of it, but I'm just not picking it up as well because, again, I guess the size kind of intimidates me a bit. And I'm also filming a reading vlog for this, so I can only kind of read this when I'm keeping track of my thoughts and feelings so I can relay them to you. But yeah, you'll see a reading vlog of this eventually. I'm thinking I'll try and finish it early 2025. I need to just rededicate myself to this book. I think it'll be great whenever I decide to do that. But for now, I feel like I need to put this aside and just like finish off other stuff, and then I can like dive back into the world of Anna Karenina and read it properly, because spacing it out over tons of months is probably not the best way to consume it. Do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the end of the year? I would think this would be like a winter book, not an autumnal book, because obviously the end of the year is like the autumn months into the winter months, into the next season, I guess what I was trying to say. So I chose a book that kind of applies to both autumn and winter. These books usually come out every single January, I think it is, sometimes December maybe. So I usually read them in the new year, but I feel like this could be a book that would be fun to read throughout December, and that is The Prisoner's Throne by Holly Black. This is the second book in the, it's just the Stolen Heir duology, I guess so. The first book was Stolen Heir. This is a follow-on series from the Folk of the Air? The Elfame books, you know, like The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King and The Queen of Nothing. Love those. They're all 5-star reads to me, like one of my favourite series of all time. The first book in this series I didn't love, so despite me pre-ordering this book and it coming out in like February or something, never got around to it. But I feel like now is the time, because I really would like to round off a series. It's so easy to do because it's only a duology. I've heard better things about this second book than the first one, so we'll see how I feel with that. We're following Oak. He is a fairy and he is kind of a side character in the main series, and this is about his personal journey and his romance, everything like that, and it's good. It just doesn't have the same magic as the previous series, in my opinion. Are there any releases that you're still waiting for? I was waiting for Spectacular by Stephanie Garber, and I'm still waiting for that in the sense that I don't want to read it until December because it is like a holiday novella. This is a novella in the Caraval series, if you're unaware. Caraval Legendary and Finale, and then we have this little novella. I'm so excited for it because it's just meant to be like how A Court of Frost and Starlight is to ACOTAR, a little kind of like slice of life for some of my favourite characters. I love the Caraval series. It's such a comfort series to me, and it also has some of my favourite characters, so I'm really excited to eventually get to that, but again, I'm saving it for the holiday season, so I haven't got to that one yet. But there's no other releases, I don't think, for the rest of the year. I was excited for what's it called? Intermezzo, the new Sally Rooney, but that obviously has already come out. And I don't think I'm actually going to be getting to it for a little while, but whenever I do, I will film a reading vlog on it, because I did that for Conversations with Friends, Normal People and Beautiful World, What Are You? I'll have them all linked down below if you're curious. What are 3 books that you want to pick up before the end of the year? Did I pick 3? Yes, I did pick 3. I only chose 2 last night, but I came up with another one this morning, I think. So the first one is, of course, If We're Villains. I'm not going to talk for a long time on this book because it's been on so many of my TBRs across the last couple of years. It's on my October TBR, it's on my November TBR, so I'm reading this book before the end of the year if it's the last thing I do. If I die doing it, so be it. I'm not entering 2025 until I finished this book. Unless I finish this book. So, or at least started it, I guess. I'm really, really excited for this. I don't know why I've been putting it off so long. It's going to be great. I'm pretty convinced of it, so. If We're Villains. This is following a group of students studying Shakespeare, and they get kind of like too invested and involved in their productions and their characters to the point where a murder actually takes place. So it's very kind of dark academia. I've got Eileen by Tessa Moshfegh. This would be my 3rd Moshfegh. I really enjoy her work. It's kind of divisive, but so far I've been having a pretty good time with it. I'm really excited to read Eileen, particularly because I really want to watch the film adaptation. It came out kind of recently. I've been kind of tracking its release when I first heard it was in development and stuff like that. But this book is specifically set over the Christmas season, so December read, I feel. And if not, I might just have to save it till next year. So this is one I'm going to be trying to prioritise throughout December. You should see it in my TBR jar video, hopefully. But yeah, we're following Eileen, and it's about her kind of like really intense friendship with this girl called Rebecca. And maybe it's a bit sapphic, I'm not sure, but it's like kind of a crime novel. It's like a bit of a thriller. For lots of people, this is their favourite Moshfegh, so I'm really excited for this. And then finally, this is my kind of wild card. It's Close, Music, Boys, by Viv Albertine. This is a music non-fiction book following this lovely lady who was the guitarist in The Slits, which is an all-girl band when punk was like absolutely popping off in the 1970s. I think it's a very kind of feminist read. I'm really excited for it because I love music. If you're new here, that's something about me. But also because I'm currently in the middle of reading Just Kids by Patti Smith. I'm having kind of mixed results with that, and I think it's definitely because I was hoping to get much more of the kind of punk scene, the music vibe from it, and it's much more about her relationship with Robert Mapplethorpe than it is about anything to do with that industry, really. I've been talking to a friend about it on Bookstagram and Mutual on there. Her favourite book is this. She was kind of ranting on, raving about it. I'm really excited about it because I've had it on my physical TBR for about a year now, and I feel like it could be great. I've read like a little excerpt of it and it sounds kind of crazy, but also like such a fun time and like kind of what I'm looking for within music non-fiction. Is there a book that could shock you and become your favourite book of the year? I'm gonna say potentially if we were villains could do it, because I don't know, it just seems like the perfect thing for me. It's got lots of really beautiful quotes. Yeah, I feel like this could be like the Dark Academia book for me. I enjoyed The Secret History, if anyone's curious. I gave it 4 stars, but I feel like that could be like my Dark Academia book. This one also has the potential to kind of like blow my socks off because I'm just so excited for it. I feel like it could be sharp and like what I'm looking for right now to kind of spice up my reading a bit. I've read one other music non-fiction this year, and that's like one of my favorite books of the year, so I'm really excited for those. Eileen, maybe, who knows, but yeah, other than that I don't really plan on getting to many other books because I want to be just finishing what I'm already in the middle of. The Name of the Wind, obviously I love so much, but that's already like a book I know I'm gonna enjoy, so I don't think there's gonna be one that's gonna like shock me necessarily, but it would be nice to find another like 5-star read or another book that I really enjoy before the end of the year, because to be honest I haven't had many across these past few months, which is definitely I think a personal problem, but I also think it's also like to do a little bit with the kind of books I've been reading and not reading things that I'm really obsessed with. Have you started making any reading plans for 2025? I hadn't until I read this question and I was like, okay, let's think through some things. First of all is I really want to prioritize both literary fiction and non-fiction. Those are the 2 genres that I feel like I'm really into at the moment, like specific non-fiction, not just like everything. More music memoirs, more memoirs in general, everything within that I really, really enjoy. I'm really excited to further explore that throughout the rest of my life, but particularly focus on 2025. Lit fic is my favourite genre. All my favourite books are pretty much from that genre, and I just feel like I don't pick them up very often, which is so silly. We're gonna go like way off contemporary romance, still like a steady flow of fantasy, but like lit fic I really want to be my main focus. I'm excited to see the different themes explored in that, and also to hopefully find some more books that I love, because it makes sense that if like my favourite books are lit fics, me not reading lit fics is gonna mean that I'm not finding as many favourites. The other thing is classics. I really slipped off my classics game. I never like intentionally choose to like pick up a classic. I mean I do, but like I don't do it. Like I'm not like I want to read 10 classics this year or whatever. This year I just naturally have not gravitated to many, and I feel like that's such a shame. That's definitely also something I want to be kind of like making a bit more of a conscious effort to consider picking up. I really want to realise some video ideas. I've got so many on the back burner. So many that are like in pre-production / like actually like I don't know, I feel like I'm already like in the process of making them just because of how often I think about these ideas. I need to just get them done basically, and this is a goal that I have every single year for myself, but this year particularly, 2025, I'm making things happen. 2024 was a year of change, and 2025 it's like about me kind of coming into my own and doing the things I've always wanted to do. Also with that, I want there to be a bit of a switch in my content. I really enjoy what I make, but I don't know, I want to do less of these kind of sit down videos like this one. Vlog style, like reading vlogs, stuff like that. That's what I have the most passion for and the most creativity in, and what kind of inspires me to keep going with YouTube, because it is a pretty kind of like lonely, slow moving thing to be doing. I mean, it doesn't, your progress is not linear with it, so anything that like gives me that spark I feel like is what I want to be focusing on. That's not going to be super dramatic, you're not going to see massive changes. I'm still going to be doing my like wrap-ups, TBRs, stuff like that, but yeah, just more kind of vlog style stuff, and I don't know, you'll see. I've got lots of plans. I also wrote down potentially reading less. I think I'll have read fewer books this year than I will have last year, which I'm really kind of fine about. I don't care. Like I read 61 books or something last year. This year I'm on like 54 I think so far. We'll see. Honestly, I don't care. I said like reading less, or at least more of what I like, which might in turn mean that I'm reading less because I'm not reading books that are kind of as easy to get through, but I'm reading ones that I can take my time with. They're making like a bigger impact on my life. That's like up in the air though. We'll see about that. I'm not going to set a massive reading goal. I'm just going to set like 25 books or something, because I usually stick to like the number of the year. Like this year's was 24 and last year's was 23. We'll see. I need to have a think on that, because I like I said, I really like came up with these questions a couple of days ago. Came up with these answers a couple of days ago and haven't thought much on them beyond that. But yeah, there you have it. Those are the 6 questions in the end of the year book tag. If you enjoyed the video, like I said, give it a thumbs up to let me know that you did. Subscribe to like stick around and see, potentially get some of these books, potentially finish some of them, and also follow me into 2025, where I feel like it's going to be a good year. We're going to make some progress in like all areas of our lives. And yeah, sending so much love and light to you. If you've had a rubbish year this year, 2025 is going to be so good. I can just tell. We're on the up. It's only going to get better from here. Bye bye.